Hello, St Andrews. Bore da if you're in Key Stage 2 and Prynhawn Data Foundation phase. I hope you're having a lovely day today. We are carrying on with our REACH assemblies, our REACH curriculum, and still with the respect part of that. Today we're focusing around teamwork. Now, I've seen lots and lots of brilliant examples of teamwork within classrooms over the past couple of weeks. So I know that there are lots of you being really good at this. And in particular, I've noticed that Kojos are brilliant at teamwork. So I want to share some of that, or you to share some of that with us today. Before we start, though, we're going to talk about our Welsh phrase of the week. Big diolch yn fawr to Mrs Wood, who's worked so hard to get the videos correct and in part of our assembly. There has been a slight technical issue, which I've discussed with Mrs Wood this morning. So we're just going to go straight in with me saying the phrase of the week just for today. So we have got, our phrase of the week this week is find your partner. Find your partner. And that means find a partner. Okay, back to teamwork. What is a team? So a team is usually a group of people, so that's more than one person. And they're usually linked by whatever it is they do. So I want you just to have a think for 2 minutes. Can you think of different types of teams that you might have seen or heard about? And are you already a member of a team? Here are some pictures of teams. Have a little think. You might be in a team outside school, or you might have been part of a team within school, outside of the classroom. Have a little talk. Okay, so it's not just us that work as a team. There are lots and lots of animal types that work as a team as well. What I'd like you to do is have a little talk about maybe some different animals that you can think of that might work as a team. Okay, I'm going to share a film clip with you now of a group of animals working as a team. What I'd like you to do is watch it and then discuss afterwards. Okay, so those meerkats not necessarily getting the ending they wanted, but worked incredibly well as a team. And as you will know from Kojo's, there are different members in a team and lots of people playing their parts and their roles within the team. So what I'd really like you to do, and I know you're the experts on this, is I'd like you to think about all the roles that you play within Kojo's, and think about how you can apply those into the classroom situation when you're working as a team within class, and maybe in other areas of the school, perhaps even when you're playing at playtime, and you're organising your own team games. It would be a good idea to have a really good think about which role you're taking within that team and how you can make that team work on the playground to play games and have fun, really, and show respect whilst you're doing it. Okay, so this is just a little bit about why do teams work together. And I did think it was quite important to mention that right at this moment that the whole world is working as a team. We know that we've had the lockdown and everybody pulled together as a team to make sure they stayed in to keep everybody safe and to protect the NHS, all those lovely doctors and nurses that are also working as a team to keep everybody safe and to look after everybody. Not everyone there can do the same job. There are nurses, there are doctors, and they're a teams of cleaners that really work hard to keep a hospital running and to make it look after us. And I think it's quite important for us to mention that at the moment because that's where we are. And we're obviously currently working under restrictions to do that. So I think the whole world at the moment is a team. Going back to animals, ants, we know about ants that they're very, very strong. And they can carry single things really well by themselves, but together they can carry things that are much, much heavier. And we as humans do that as well. And if you notice, and this will be happening around us now, and I know that Miss Hatherall's been talking about migration in her forest school. Birds do migrate to warmer countries at this time of the year, and if you watch them in the sky, they always fly in a V shape, and they work together and flap their wings up and down at the same time. And the bird at the front is the one that's got the hardest job because it's the one that's pushing through first. But what happens with birds is they then, because the one at the front gets the most tired, it will then drop back, and somebody will take its place. So it's team working together to think about when they need to take over from each other or support each other in that way. Lots of lessons that we can learn from all the creatures and the animals around us. So I think it's important to think about, whilst it's okay to be independent and work on our own, we don't always get what we want or achieve the best we can achieve when we're working on our own. So sometimes we need to do something that we cannot do alone as part of a team to make sure we can achieve it properly. If something needs doing quickly, a team is always a little bit better than one person. It's also good to develop those skills of negotiation and compromising with others. And those are two words that I'm sure you've talked about in Kojo's, but is something that we will be focusing on a little bit more later on as part of Reach. And also, everybody's got their own strengths and everybody's good at certain things. And sometimes we're not so good at those other things, and it's good to support each other when we're finding things maybe a little bit more tricky. So it's really important that teamwork helps everybody. Now in our school, we've got lots and lots of teams. We've got staff teams, there's the site team. So we've got Mr. Burgoyne and Mr. Jack who work together to make sure the site is safe. We've got our teacher teams in our phases. So we've got the early years phase, years 1 and 2, years 3 and 4, years 5 and 6, and they all work together in teams to make sure that planning is amazing for you, and that the school runs really, really well. And we've also got lots of pupil leadership teams. Now you can see on the right of the picture there, that's a little sketch note that Miss Davis did. She's taken responsibility for the teams this year along with Mrs. Charles and I. And we've talked quite a lot about pupil leadership and how we can work together and get pupils to work together as teams to help support changes within the school. So I'm mainly, as you know, responsible for school council team, but there are lots of other teams. There's Heathley Bach, there's the Eco Committee, Playground Leaders, Curriculum Team, Digi Leaders, amongst lots and lots of others. As you know, I'm school council, and every year the school council's job is to think about moving school forward and making changes for the better for everybody. So with that in mind, this week, I want you to work as a class team collaboratively. Make some time and talk to your school council and think about things that you might want to improve or some suggestions for areas of development within our school. Remember, this is your school and you have as much as a voice as everybody else. So we will be meeting later in the week, so it'd be really good if you could have a talk with your school council rep and have a think about, as a team, the thing that's most important for you to move our school forward at the moment. So there's just a prompt for you. Okay, what issues would you like to change? This could relate to the playground, healthy eating, the environment, well-being, sport, resources, anything like that. Make sure it's realistic. Talk as a class and bring back any issues that you want to be talked about with me, and then I can take them through to perhaps senior management team meetings, or we can discuss as a council how we're going to help those things to get better. Okay, time for reflection. Just quietly, I want you to have a little consider and a think about and reflect how you work as a team every week and all the different groups and teams you work within. What you can do to transfer some of the skills that you've learned in those teams into other teams. And maybe start to have a little think about some changes and things you might want to move forward. Gwyddion. Diolch I ti am ei byd. Diolch am ein ffrindiau I gyd. Amen. That's all from me this week. I hope I've given everybody lots of things to think about and look forward to seeing you around school this week. Looking busy and working as teams. Have a lovely week and I'll speak to you soon. Daboch chi.